I want to draw on the screen, and for some reason that's gone. Chat, invite, record, hide. Okay, so drawing of the on the screen looks like out of the options for this Zoom call. I don't know why. So I will draw it with the trading view then. So basically, let me see if I can draw it. So basically, very easy. If you have a graph, let's say this is a graph, and you have a normal moving average that is a straight average, all right? It's a linear line. Now, if you have a exponential moving average, let's check if I can draw some free lines in here. Let's do curve. This is an exponential moving average. All right. And what happens with an exponential moving average is that the weight that is used for making the moving average, so the yellow one is exponential moving average, which means it doesn't give so much power on the start. So it doesn't really interest that much of what happened here, but it takes more interest of what happened at the end, which means that you have a moving average that is more active with what just happened in the market than what happened, let's say, 200 times your time frame before. So a 200 moving average, in my opinion, needs to give that average, because I want to know the average between 200 times 1 hour or 200 times 15 minutes before till now. So I want to have that linear average, this one. All right. But the exponential moving average it's kind of like compounding. It gives more power to what happened just now. So that means that an exponential moving average can start giving you entries, let's say, straight after news, because news happened here at the end, and it gives the most power to, let's say, oh, the news was up. So, tada, boom, we will give you guys a cross to the uptrend, start buying, while my normal moving average probably will gives the point of saying like, you should wait a little bit because our average is not really caught up yet. So they call it slower, but the people who call it slower, they basically want faster results, and that's not always working. So EMA is faster than a simple moving average, or an MA, SMA, that is the same. So an EMA would be better for price action. Yes, in the case that if you want to have more power of the end of the action than of the beginning of the action. But the question is, do you need a EMA, or do you need a smaller level of a normal moving average? Because I'm going to use 10, 20, 100, and 200. The 10, 20 are faster than the 100 and 200 because they look less time frames back. So that is going to become clear more. But now you guys know the difference between an EMA and a normal MA, like an SMA, simple moving average. So that is of important part. Now for Ichimoku, it's actually the same. If you are lowering the settings, you will get more of an effect of a exponential moving average. I know that Dr. Katie Kirtland changed her settings lower because she wants to see more action as it happens now. That means that her trades will have a faster exit, which in some cases is good, but on the other cases, if she's wrong, she's really wrong. We have seen a lot of trades with Dr. K that went to more than 200 pips drawdown. At this moment, she's just saying, if you don't feel comfortable in the trade, get out. Now, no one feels comfortable having 200 pips drawdown, so people are killing their losses, but there's no guidance about it. So that's basically what I wanted to change. Not to say anything bad about Dr. Katie Kirtland, because she is doing a great job. So smaller simple moving average is showing current action. It's closer to the graph. That's completely true. So Ichimoku, I'm only using the cloud. And the Sunday call that you will get the recording from, I'm also explaining the conversion line and the baseline. That are two lines that you might know from another sessions where they're using the Ichimoku, where they are basically crossing, they give you an entry. But I will show you for a second if I put it on. Those lines are not really nice lines. All right, so let me take off the cloud for a second. So if you just see those lines, they're not that clear because I don't really use them. You see they are sometimes even flat, and here they are crossing. So here you see red is above blue, and then here you see, oh, boom, red became above blue again. But what happened here in the middle? It's very unclear. The prices crosses are on top of each other, make a downfall together. Where is the cross? So the cross technically is here in this yellow part. That's where the cross is. But it's very hard to see because the lines are on top of each other and they are not really fluent. So what I said together with the team here, and one of the guys that worked on this strategy together with me is Mindogas, who is here in the office as well. He said, like, what if we change for moving averages, because that is a lot more convenient. So we said, okay, look at the 10-20 moving average. Now the 10-20 moving average here, blue and purple, are way more smoother than those Ichimoku lines, but still they're pretty close to the graph. So here you very clearly see a cross of blue and purple. Here you very clearly see a cross of blue and purple. Here is blue and purple, and you very clearly can see here they come very close to each other, and you can very clearly see with the 10 and 20 moving average that the price here is going down, going down, going down, and going down. That's what we want to see. So those Ichimoku TK crosses, I've traded with them for over 5 years. Ichimoku was always my favorite indicator since I have been trading with them, but I found it in my first year, read all the difficult Japanese theory about it, but at the end, a 10 and a 20 moving average are actually doing kind of the same. So I do not use them at this moment anymore. I just use those two simple moving averages, SMA 10 and 20, all right? Now, what is most important to understand, next to the cloud, we added two other moving averages, which are the 100 and the 200. Now, the 100 and the 200 give us the purpose of the trend. So you see here, when the price is below the 200, red is 200, we are only selling. So this sell we wouldn't take yet because green is on top of red. Now, if I zoom out, this will become very clear to you guys. So this one we don't take. This is a very, very nice one. Price comes to 200, 10-20 are crossed, and all four lines are moving downwards. Here, you get the long-term cross, because look at this. There's people who are trading just 100 and 200 crosses from the moment I talked about this strategy. Look at this cross and how far this price went down. Then here you see the next cross and how far this price from there went up. It's even out of my screen. It doesn't even fit on the screen. You see that? After that, it's crossing the 200 moving average, and this would be your exit. Then here we have a cross, and it crosses 2 times very fast. But what you really want to see, that's November stuff. But what you really want to see is that those crosses are giving you long-term trends. $200 cross, boom, long-term downtrend. Here it very shortly crosses 2 times again, and then it goes down further. So you can also take it like this. Here, downtrend, here, cross, downtrend. So you see this pair has many many moments of creating a longer term downtrend, and I mean days. You see here all those lines, that gives multiple days. So that's why I'm staying on the hour, so you guys can see how much days are in those lines. Now, during those days, the only thing we do is sell. When the prices are moving upwards, like here, the only thing we do is buy. So let me make this a green one, and let's zoom in on this period, all right? So I zoomed in on this period, and you see here the 100-200 cross. Now there's a couple of moments that I will make in orange that you have a 10-20 cross. There's a 10-20 cross. Here's a 10-20 cross. Here's a 10-20 cross. Here's a 10-20 touching each other. Here's a 10-20 touching each other. And on all those moments, we will be able to take buys. So you see here on almost every day, here 2 days nothing. On almost every day, here's a little one. Almost every day you will be able, here's also one, sorry. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, 2 days nothing. Here in the evening, a very little one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10 days, you could have bought the Euro USD. That's it. Every day, almost every day, you can buy the Euro USD. Now, what's the cool part is, let's say, for an example, this trade doesn't hit your take profit and it goes into 1 day, 2 days, it will go into drawdown. It's testing the 200 moving average, which is our floating stop loss. All right. It doesn't break the 200 moving average. So we keep going, and look at this. Straight after, it's in blue again. You can close early or you can just wait out. When you see this cross, you know it's going to go up again. And it's a 4-day trade that had some drawdown, but still ends up in profit. Unless the price, so now I'm going to give you guys the downfall. Unless the price, let's say you entered here, you didn't take your take profit, goes back to entry, you do still here get a chance of getting out in blue. When you don't, you have this 200 moving average, and you here already see me drawing it earlier. It's when the price is really crossing the 200 moving average. And when it really crosses the 200 moving average, you know that it's potentially going into a downtrend. You see here that the 100 and the 200 cross, that can mean it can go fall a lot. Now, in this case, it even made a retest, so you could still go out and profit. If you have patience, you can still go out and profit. Now you see here, when it finally really crosses, you would have a problem staying in, all right? You don't want to create this much drawdown. So you can stay in, you can see it breaks. This is a moment of getting out. When it comes to the positive side again, you see it's already break even. If it becomes plus, you're happy, you close it. If you still would choose to wait for some reason, then here you see that you have a cross and a serious price under the 200 moving average, and that's a moment to take a loss. Now, let's say you finally decide that here. How much pips are we talking about? So worst case scenario, right? 48 pips, which means that for 20 days, you had multiple chance of getting out, but you still choose to stay in, and that's the moment I would say you really need to exit. It's still not 200 pips, and I'm talking about Euro USD, one of the most volatile pairs. So you see that we have almost every day we had a chance of getting into the buy up till the last day. And when the price is going under the 200 moving average, it becomes like a doubting pair. And from here, we only sell. So if I just delete those crazy lines, let's say all of those trades went nicely into profit, this is a period you want to do nothing. It's very unclear what happens. But from here, price is crossing the 200, we have a sell, we have a sell, we have a sell. Here, this is very interesting, we have a buy, but we don't take the buys, we only take sells. All right, we only take a sell. Why? Because the red line is on top of the green line and you only want to sell when you're in a downtrend. Also in this area earlier, there are indicators that are giving us a potential sell here, a potential sell here. This is like Davin's 4 rules. For everybody who knows the Davin's 4 rules, here you have a cross for the sell, going in for 5 pips, going in for a couple of pips. Those trades I would not take. The goal is to only trade with the trend. Now, on top of that, to make it really, really clear, we have the Ichimoku cloud. What the Ichimoku cloud is doing, as you can see, is that we do not trade when the price comes down to the cloud under the price. Then here the price goes out of the cloud, perfect trade. We don't trade the sells. Price comes to the cloud, we take a buy. We don't take the sells. Prices are in the cloud, we don't do nothing. Price comes down, we are in nothing. Price comes out of the cloud, here, boom, beautiful trade. Price comes down, very nice trade. Price is very far away from the Ichimoku cloud. If I delete those things, maybe it makes it even more clear. We just stay away from the cloud here all the time. And that makes this 1, 2, 3 trade so beautiful. Stay away from the cloud. When the price goes into the cloud, there's doubting ways. When you see a red cloud in an uptrend, it can potentially shift or shifts later or try to shift. So you want to see a green cloud. You want to see your 1020 crossing. You want to see a green cloud and you want to see your green line above of your red line. This is a pair that you're looking for. Now, the cool part is that when you have 28 pairs that you can trade, there's always a couple of them trending. Now, again, November has been really hard, very flat market. But when the markets are trending, you can very easily make money with this strategy. So the only thing that I was personally struggling with is that, let's say here we have a cross and I still wanted to go for a buy. Now, the question was, why not taking a buy anymore here? Because it's going to end someday. You don't know when it's going to end, and you at the end up in drawdown. And that's not funny. So how to make sure we don't sell at the top anymore? That's where pivots came in. So at the start, I can show you guys some of the pivot candles. You can find them here. So basically, you have what's called pivot points, and they create this kind of lines, like this kind of arrows, and they create different arrows as well. They are moving to the low levels. And some people are trading with those pivot points. So this is just an example, but it will give you a clear idea. Some people might have seen this kind of indicators. So they are just giving you kind of a trend, where to buy, where to sell when pivot likes to shift. Now, we started to use with those trades. So when I was trading, Mendogas came to my home in the mornings, and he was basically looking to this kind of indicators. He was looking to double tops, triple tops, head and shoulders, all kinds of extra things that we know from the IM Academy. That's why I think it's so good to not just learn one strategy, but to learn trading in general, all right? So basically, you want to know if it is the floor, you want to know if it's the top, etc. But the cool thing is that pivot lines really came in handy at that time. Now, I need to go to the end of the graph to show you guys a little bit more about that. So I don't know if Euro USD is going to be a good example, but I'm going to put on the pivots Fibonacci daily on here. Now, the pivot Fibonacci daily is giving you a couple of lines. Let me turn off the moving average and Ichimoku, all right? There's a couple of things that you can see here. I have pivots Fibonacci daily, you can see it here. Type is Fibonacci. Daily, so it's fixed on the daily, not on other levels. and I look 5 pivot levels back. You can do more, but don't really need it. All right. So what this does is that there's a good question. Is there a lag on pivots? Now, there's not really a lag of pivots. These ones are just fixed in volume. So let me show you. This volume is represented on this day. This volume is represented on this day. This flat volume is represented on this day. This basically downwards volume or flat volume as well is represented here. This at the end downwards volume is represented on the day after that. All right. So what you see is that you always have a start of the day and end of the day. And based on those levels, let me use another color for that. So you have the start of the day, the end of the day, the end of the day, the end of the day. This is what you want to start looking at on a daily basis. Did the price go up or down on a daily basis? But you look on the hour time frame, all right? So you see up, up, flat, switch, down. Now look at the pivots. Up, little down, and here they say flat. So you see when the blue pivot is moving, I should have made those blue arrows, sorry. So when you see that pivot is moving up or down, you basically can see where the price is going. What you also can see on pivots is how bigger they are. So the distance, let's say here between R3 and R2, resistance 3 and resistance 2 is 17 pips, while the day before it was just 10 pips. Why is that? It's because the volume of this day, up or down, is less than the volume here. All right, so these pivots are based on the day before. These pivots are based on this day before. Here was more volume down, more direction, so the pivots are wider. You should try looking up daily Fibonacci pivot points. So this is daily, all right? This is daily. It looks cleaner if you don't draw. So what I'm doing for this strategy in the morning is to see something very simple. This price started under pivot. That means that, in my opinion, we are basically in a sell day. And it sells probably at least one pivot point. Now, what is the goal? The goal is to start as close as pivot. Now, this was probably news candle, but you want to start to as close as pivot to enter a trade, and then you start going in there. All right, so that the price is starting under pivot gives me that it's a selling day. Now, this is a news-related event, but let's say that wick is not there. You want to start somewhere here, and you can have a very tight stop loss. The tight stop loss should be just a couple of pips, let's say 5, 7, 10 pips on the other side of pivot. And you go for your take profit 1, S1, and if you want, you can go for take profit 2. So here you see 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. Now, let me show you the day before. Price is above pivots. Enter as close as possible for pivots, take profit 1, take profit 2. All right, here you see. Pivot is 3 pips plus 5 is about 8 pips risk. Take profit 1, 7 pips, take profit 2, 14 pips. You will see based on the amount, based on the levels, how much you want to take. Price started above pivot, broke directly in the Asia session. Here we are talking about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, trading time. Boom. These are the nicest trades, the easiest ones. Close to pivot, small stop loss, 3, 4, 5 pips, and a nice, if it's small, I would go for take profit 2, a nice 11 pips risk reward, 2.3. This is how you will be able to get daily trades with the fixed pivot levels. All right, now I'm just talking about pivots, not talking about the strategy we just said. So if you combine those two, we wouldn't take this trade. We wouldn't take this buy, but I would take this sell, because here we have a cross of the 1020. We are under pivot, so we are only selling, and I would take the sell from there. Now, what I was doing before I had pivots is I was using fixed lot sizes. Now, they are still very accurate in my opinion, and you guys can write those down. On the 5-minute time frame, I'm using 6 pips take profit. 15-minute time frame, I'm using 11 pips take profit, and on the 1-hour time frame, I was using 30 pips take profit. And then I mean when you're selling from the 10-20 crosses. All right. Now, instead of just blindly selling here on the 1 hour for 30 pips, what I really started to like, come on. What I really started to like is that I can say, okay, I sell here and I sell to a certain pivot level. Now I know that this is not going to be 30 pips, but that 24 is a lot safer. All right, so the pivot indicator on TradingView is just pivot standard. It's called pivot standard. All right, so instead of taking just blindly 30 pips, I am really happy to find pivot levels also for my exits. Now, those pivot level exits are not so accurate as the pivot scanner. So now you guys know why I use this for entries and for day direction as an entry indicator. But for my exit indicator, I'm or using this simple numbers to just say, okay, I'm taking 11 pips on everything, or I'm using the pivot scanner. Now, why I do prefer the pivot scanner is it's because up to date. So every hour it recalculates. I am talking about this with Lee lately a lot, but we found out that the pivot scanner on the IM Academy is basically every hour on the hour time frame and on the 15 minutes, every 15 minutes recalculating if the pivot levels are still okay, or if they should have, or if they should modify. Now that's really, really cool, because it really helps us to find the actual current pivot levels instead of the static ones of yesterday. Yesterday was a busy day. We will have very big take profits on this. If yesterday was a very relaxed day, we would have small take profits, even though today is completely different than yesterday. So that's a problem. I do not use this indicator for exits. I just wanted to draw it like this because this is what we were doing before we had the pivot scanner. But the pivot scanner is probably way more accurate in where the exit actually is, because it is there. So what I really like to use without pivots is just this strategy. So this strategy just lets me buy at certain points and let me sell at certain points. Now the pivots lines to buy as close as pivot as possible, having a small stop loss, great take profit, is a part of the strategy that you can use separately from what we are doing in the morning. And then the last part is to not use this kind of pivots for entry, just use the strategy as is, because it's good as is, but use the pivot scanner for exits. I hope this all makes a little bit of sense. I understand it's not entry level, basic level strategies. And I said to you guys before, it's probably really difficult to put a strategy that slowly is created over time in a 1-hour webinar. But I do hope that you guys were able to take some notes and that you guys were able to get it in. How did you get the lines to divide it in the days. So those days, they are period separators. It's very simple. It's here on appearance session breaks. In MetaTrader, it's called period separators, I think. I hope it starts to make sense. In the morning, I do not use the pivot Fibonacci tool. I'm only using my basic strategy, which is giving me a buy or a sell. And of course, I kind of look like, are we trading below pivots? Are we trading above pivots? But sometimes we need to cross pivots. So it's just like all the knowledge that you slowly get, especially by doing more and more and more trades together. That's really going to help you to understand the seeing it first. Also, the Ichimoku cloud is telling me a lot more, because here it tells me that it's very fat, and very fat means that there's a lot of upwards volume. Very thin clouds here only give me that the market is doubting. What I would like to see before I would trade this pair again is just a very nice big fat red cloud that is giving us a certain direction and tells us there is volume for the sellers. The bigger the cloud, the more volume. There's volume for the sellers. Let's go. Do you want a pregnant cloud? Yes, we want a fat, pregnant cloud. I am going to show it on pivots because we are going to continue on pivots, but this was a little bit easier to do that. So basically, risk 3% of your account. If you're using the entry with Fibonacci, it's very cool because you have tight stop losses, and 3% of your account with 5 to 8 pip stop loss, you can use pretty mad lot sizes. If you don't do that entry, but you do the entry to just trade with the trend, I would say use 0.01 per $100 in your account, maximum 5 trades, as you guys have seen before. The 4 MA lines is indeed just called 4 MA lines. It's an indicator. It's by Barlog Tech. It has 44 likes. The guy deserves a lot more likes, but it's called 4 MA lines. It's for pro version only. You need a pro version because otherwise, if you add like multiple lines, you need for this strategy, you need 5 to 6 indicators at the same time. So for that reason, 4 MA lines is helping you to have just one indicator to set 4 moving averages in one time. So the settings look like this. You just plot 10, 20, 100, 200, choose one for SMA, and give them the colors you want. The 10, 20 don't really have a color, how I want to say it, but the 100 should be green and the 200 should be red. To make it more easy for you to understand, green above red, only buying, red above green, only selling. If you use the pivot scanner, I will add 4 moving averages manually for you guys, no problem. So if you cannot find 4 MA lines, you probably have a free version of TradingView, and that is an issue. The Fibonacci pivots is just pivot standard, pivot points standard. So if you just do pivots, it's here. Pivot point standard. It's in the standard list of built-ins. 4 MA lines, 4 space MA lines. Here, there's other options as well. Moving averages, 2, 10, 20, blah, blah, blah. You probably can change it. 3 times moving average. Here's 4 times moving averages, but exponential. Moving averages for free accounts. So there's more options to get 4 moving averages. You can also just add 4 times the moving average. All right. You can try the pro trial for 30 days. That's a good hack, Jos. In TradingView, you can try the pro trial for 30 days, make an indicator your favorite, and then it stays in your TradingView when you go back to the free version. To be honest, guys, we are talking about $16 a month. I once gave a hack how to get it for a year for like $50. Trust the Dutch guy to figure that out. Yeah, that's true. So basically, if you sign up, I can give a link for TradingView Pro. You can sign up for 1 month, and after that link, if you use that link, then you get 1 month, and then you get an upgrade to say, do you want to upgrade to a year for just paying 4 more months? So you're paying like 5 months instead of 12, and you get it boom in one time. All right. You're making thousands complaining on a few dollars. Like, guys, Christopher Terry said it himself in one of the sessions. If you want to make hobby money, if you are a hobby trader, you will make hobby money. If you're a pro trader, you will make pro money. So get a good laptop, get TradingView Pro, get whatever you need, buy the right things to do the right stuff. You cannot make a couch without a hammer, like a wooden couch and a bench. You cannot make a bench without a hammer. So the 4 MA lines, if you don't see it, you can ask for it. Otherwise, again, what I just said is search moving average and just search for moving average and find one. All right. So I'm going to log in on the pivot scanner, showing you guys the stuff there, because this is the tool for exits. All right, so this is how you get the pivot scanner out of the box. Always starts on 30 minutes. Don't know why no one's using that. So let's go for the 1 hour, because the cool thing is this strategy, like, guys, I don't say it in the mornings, but this strategy literally works on everything: crypto, gold, silver, indexes, oils, stocks, Indian stocks. I got a message from someone, you might have heard this before, from someone in India who found my strategy on YouTube before I took it off. And he was he never got any lessons. He just watched the video. He started to use those indicators, and he says it's so clear when to buy, when to sell. It doesn't matter with what, it's just a trend indicator. It just gives you a very clear idea of if it's going up or going down. So at that moment you buy or sell, and he had insane success with Indian local stock market. So it doesn't really matter what you're trading. The strategy is working on everything. In the morning I just stay on gold only, on Forex only, no gold, no other stuff, because most people's accounts are simply too small for that stuff. All right, so the pivot lines very shortly. For everybody who never seen the pivot scanner, everything in this level here is called undersold, which means that the price is probably not continuing further. And everything in this level is called oversold. So from R8 and from S0. All right. So what you don't want is that even though you have a great idea of selling this, that you don't want to sell it with your take profit somewhere there. It's way too deep. That's why we want to say, hey, it's a sell from here, and this is the perfect sell. This one is too late. If you want to jump in right now here, so close, you can calculate, shift click. This is like 10 pips, so it's kind of okay. But for the 1 hour, it's too low. You want to go 30 pips. You want to get here. Strong resistance line, red line, strong resistance line, boom, 30 pips down. That's what you want. All right, that's what you want to see. So you want to trade somewhere in this range. Of course, you can trade only below pivot. So you can trade this right, which is then 21 pips. If it's crossing pivot, moving it a little bit down. That is what you can do, but you don't want to. So this really gave me an exit points, because all the pivot lines are exit points because they are potentially reversing. But next to that, also very important to understand when you're at the bottom or at the top, and you should not enter anymore. My trade showing trading view. Shouldn't be. It's trading view in the pivot scanner. Okay, it's pivots. Thank you guys, thank you. So you don't want to sell when it's too low, buy when it's too high. Let's find some other examples. Like this price is already on the low side. If you want to sell it, never go down the -1. So this area is already risky. And I'm talking about 1 hour. You should have a potential of 30 pips. Look at this, 26. All right, that's what you want to sell. Put all your nice things in a tool on IM. So that is exactly, thank you, Natalie, for getting my cryptic explanation at the start. That is exactly that is going to happen between now and January, or not going to happen between now and January. So, or there will be a tool / upgrade, or there will be nothing. And with nothing, I mean not on IMTV. You guys can help by just coming to the sessions, because as long as I'm staying #1 in there, they cannot really ignore their educator #1. So that helps in the negotiations a lot, guys. Just keep coming. That's it. So I hope we can make it in a certain way as an upgrade on pivots or a separate scanner. And if not, you can be the next person that they ditch. They will not ditch me, guys. I'm not going anywhere. I am staying for my swing trading and London daybreak. I'm staying really 100% sure. Don't worry about that. But the morning sessions are not scheduled sessions. You guys need to understand, I just did them for my team. I was just trading for Netherlands, Belgium, and UK teams just before their work make some money. And it was not planned. The only thing I used Go Live is because I knew they were paying subscribers. So I just started with like 50 people from my own team. And it is pretty insane what it is right now. So I want to thank you all for that support, but it is not an official session. The morning sessions are extra sessions that are not scheduled. So I am like, fuck the rules. So I just still keep doing it. But we need to get to a certain point before the end of the year that or it's going to be okay, or it's going to be not okay to do it on Go Live. So it's going to be left or right. For now, we just keep doing it. Felicity. Relax, indeed. All good, guys. I understand the enthusiasm. That is the good part. Master trades on pivots was active. I was trying to put them on there, but I'm just putting every master trade I have on my pivot channel. So it was active on the old pivot scanner. It didn't save our trades. It sent notifications, and then the pivot was gone, and it was not good. So I'm making screenshots, putting them on my pip talk. I feel that that's a way better way of sharing for you guys. All right, so now let's put that indicator on here. So this one is probably going up, all right? You see here, EMA 50 and 200, you can delete them. We go to indicators, put moving average, and here you already see double, triple, but you don't really need that. You can just do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 moving averages, and Ichimoku cloud. That's all you need. All right, then it looks terrible, so we're going to change them. Moving average 20 or 9 to 10. Make it a certain color that you like, blue, purple, maybe a little bit thicker. That's 1, 10. Okay, next, 20.
I'm seeing that, like, for some reason, the JPY here
10, 20.
are, like, cat JPY.
Boom. 100, always green.
They're, yeah, and they let you, like, use those big long prices, and this is still on
200 always red.
this morning. Like if you took this is 70 tips, and this is like 700.
Ichimoku looks quite messy, right? This is my problem with Ichimoku.
Yeah.
All right, this is my issue with Ichimoku. So we are going to change it. No conversion line, no baseline, no lagging span, and the colors nice and green, 65%, 60-65% colored in.
Please. Yeah. You can live on that.
And that's it. Now it looks very busy, but it will become very clear. Look, 100, 200 is crossed. Green is on top of red. So we are only buying. From that point, we are only buying. Now we were buying already from here. So we are in buying mode. Now the big question was always, is it not too late to buy? And that's why we have the pivot scanner. So we wait for a second, pivots come back. And now we see this one is not a good idea to, it's a good idea to sell here and here to R8, but selling at the, buying at this moment from R8 into this big oversold area, that is a risky trade. Price is more likely to reverse from here, all right, to the S2 levels.
Yeah.
So what you do not want is to buy too late. That's why I took this example. Before, I would have bought this, but at this moment, I know I don't want to buy it anymore.
Yeah.
The higher the time frame, the more longer you need to wait. My fist rule is 20 times your time frame. So a 1 hour trade, like find on the 1 hour time frame, probably takes you about 20 to 24 hours. Right? What suggests you not to buy it anymore is because we are here on the resistance 8 level, the highest resistance of the pivot scanner. So between here and the resistance is just 5 pips. And from there, probably coming down, maybe going to +1. But that's just 12 pips. On the 1 hour, not enough. All right? So that is how it works. And now we are going just to go over the list. New York just opened. And what we want to see is we want to see a trend, all right? We just want to see a trend. So when you see those little flags, that's not nice. This one, that was a nice trade here. Oh yeah, on top of that, add your period separators. I'm directly handicapped without them, all right? Session breaks, a little bit thicker, boom. Because I wouldn't know if it was 1 day, 2 days, a week. So here you see, this was 15 November. Guys, this is just amazing. Look, 10, 100, 200 cross. And a little bit later, lines on top of each other, 10, 20 cross. Look at this buy. 20-hour buy. Without the wick, 84 pips. That's great. So one good question, are you entering on the 1 hour, on the 15 minutes? I can enter on any time frame. I was really trading on the 5 minutes, and I was taking 6 pips, take profit, 6 pips, take profit, 6 pips, take profit. That's really working well. Then I went to 15 minutes, especially for the morning sessions, 15-minute time frame, and it will take you 20 times 50 minutes. So that is about 4 hours on average, all right? And you get out on the pivot. I always get out on pivot levels. So here I would have gone out on R8 or +1 when you see that it starts to reject. I wouldn't go out here because you see it really went through, but here it starts to wiggle. All right. Do we take this sell here? No, because we are still in an uptrend. So we are only selling when we see a nice red cloud. This is the perfect trade. This is exactly what you want to trade. All right. Going back here. Look, other amazing opportunity. 100, 200 cross for the sell. 10, 20 at the same time. Trade, boom. In this case, even to -3. Even though if you just take it this level, it would given you, it would give you,
It can make a takeout or something and then go the other way as well.
come on, 50 pips within 8 hours. 50 pips within 8 hours. Fabian, I couldn't find the 4 lines indicator before. Go to the publishers, pay, and do script to favorites, and then you have it in your favorite session. Thank you, Fabian, for sharing this Barlog Tech published script. If you would have a little bit more patience waiting for the next cross, which is going to be happening here, you could have get a lot more pips. This is the bottom, but here's where we then get out. 64 pips in then 3 days, which is basically including the weekend. So it's about, this is about 2 trading days, all right, 48 trading hours. So that's how it works. All right, how far I look back, very good question. So if I'm on the 15 minutes, what I like is that I'm trading on the 5 minutes or 15 minutes, but not so zoomed in. So this would be really like looking to the 15 minutes, like most people look to 15 minutes, right? But if I zoom out and I see at least 24 hours or 1.5 days, I get an idea that this is not a good pair. Down, red cloud, green cloud, red cloud. So I kind of want to see 1.5 day, whatever time frame, want to see 1.5 days, same direction. And I do not have to look to multiple time frames, because what people do is that when they go to 1 hour, they start to look to 2 days. When they go to 15 minutes, they start to look to 2-3 hours. They like to zoom in, like, oh, what is 15 minutes doing? But the point is that zooming out is having the same effect as going to a higher time frame. That's why you don't see me switch so much. All right. Now, when I want to see the bigger picture, let's say this is, because this is giving me a little bit more detail as well, 4 times more detail. If I want to see the bigger picture, I do go to the 1 hour. You might have seen me doing that sometimes. And then I see here again, red, green, red, not a clear trend, nothing to do right here, right now. This was nice. But here you see on the 1 hour, you would not have an entry, because you start having entries for buys from here. So you will catch this last part. Here's a little buy, all right? On the 15 minutes, I can tell you, you will already have buys on those different levels, because those buys are coming because on the lower time frame, you're closer to the cloud, your averages are 4 times smaller, and you will have more entries. So lower time frame, more entries. All right. Look at this.
Yeah.
Days of selling. Days of selling. Sell. Ooh, yellow is a bad color. What color can I give it that is clear? Sell, 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 sell. That's what you want to do. Hot pink. I don't know if this is hot pink, but it's pink. All right, sell, 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 sell. Every day sell. Why? It's because we are in one big sell from top to bottom here for what, 8-9 days in a row. On the first marathon a few weeks ago, I used the web analyzer. Yes, so what the web analyzer tier 3 is doing, and it's very nice, is it's giving volume bursts. So it's saying like this is going to go down on 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour, etc. So the more, basically when it gives a volume burst, it says that volume is coming to the downside, so there's a sell coming, or volume is coming to the upside, there's a buy coming. So when I had the web analyzer, when I used the web analyzer, on those moments, probably there are also web analyzer volume bursts, like I am going to get down. There's volume coming to the sell side. Now it will also, in this case, I will use red. Oh, green. Green is like a good idea for a sell. So maybe a little bit confusing. Let me use it will probably also give a trade idea to buy here, to buy here, and to buy here. And those buys you need to ignore. Web Analyzer is a paid IM tool indeed. We are not using harmonic scanner for this tool. All right, so you want to ignore all the buys that you have here. Even though those buys can be good, you don't want to take the buys because we are in a downtrend. All right, so that's it. Let me know, guys, if you guys have any questions till here so far. Do you check if it's under the cloud up until the 4-hour time frame? No, I just look 15 minutes, zoom out, 1 hour, zoom out, and you can see more than enough. USD cut, green, cross, red, down. Let me check that. Let's do questions first, Dennis. Can you just demonstrate using Web Analyzer for the volume? It's just giving you a red box to say sell. So I can, but it takes quite some time. You don't need it. Basically, you do not need the Web Analyzer. So what I was doing at the start, like I am using IM products because it helps people. So the Web Analyzer is great to see, to have an idea where to look at before we were using the pivot tool, all right? What you can just do is you just go from top to bottom. It's vibrata now, yeah, so not everybody will know that. So the goal is to just go from top to bottom, find which one is a trend, then check where it is on the pivot scanner, if it's not too high or not too low, and that's it. And we are going to do that in a minute. Let me know if there's any other questions, guys. I'm just going to take some water in a second. Felicity asked an interesting question. I asked you motivation to educate. Got the usual story. You want to give back. Also find you very competitive and keen to be #1 educator. Do you want to make your mark in IML? Honestly, no adjustments, but surely there's more than I just want to give back. Don't care if you want to conquer the universe, if I can learn from you, but you are a massive workhorse. Where does it come from? So that is a very good coaching question that I actually had a very hard time to answer. If you look to my, I think it's on my Instagram, one of my stories that I kind of saved. If you look to my profile that the Tony Robbins coach once created, is that I'm 99% economically oriented, which means money oriented, but the goal cannot be money, right? Like most of the coaches will tell you, goal in life cannot be, I just want to be rich, I just want to make money. So I was searching for what is going to, why am I so economically, like my first job was when I was 11 on a holiday with my parents. They lost me because I went into a bar that says we are need bartenders, and I became a bartender during my holiday with my parents. Not because I don't like my parents. I have this drive, this workhorse drive from a very, very young age. And one of the reasons that we in coaching kind of find out is that my dad worked at ExxonMobil for 35 years straight, one boss. He worked shifts, so he was working at night, working at day, crazy stuff. And he got paid pretty okay, all right? So it's not that he got paid badly, but he was really just working for someone else. And what my dad once told me is that he paid more taxes than his boss and the whole ExxonMobil, who made a couple of millions or even billions during 1 year, and they paid 0% taxes. So I really started to like this idea of not working for someone else probably before I was 10. So I just like I just work, and I know that hard work always pays off. That is kind of my life quote. So for me, I am competitive being #1 on the I Am Educator platform, but with a big smile, because I don't care. It's not there's like really, for some of you guys, you heard maybe stuff that educators get paid crazy amounts. I can tell you, you can better subscribe 30 people into IML, you will earn more than an educator. There is absolutely, it's just a little fee. Thank you for being online. We don't get laptops, we don't get internet connection. We actually get issues when our sessions are not of a certain quality, but they really don't pay for that. Now, you don't have that from me, and it's also not important because you are an educator, because you want to give back. So it's not really the usual story. It is the story, because they are, no one on the I Am Go Live platform is there for the money. So that is maybe an eye opener for you guys. The people that are doing the trades, they are really there to help. What helped for me in the morning sessions, to be really honest with you guys, is to make sure I'm trading myself, because I have pretty heavy goals from August this year till the end of this year. And the morning sessions also help me to make no excuses, because I commit to you guys. So basically, I commit to you guys and I don't want to let you down. So I am trading myself. I'm giving you trades that I put in my own account. And that really helps me, that making no excuses with the baby or no baby or whatever. I took 1 day off, the 2 days, the day of the birth and the Monday after the birth. That were the only 2 days we skipped the session. So for me, it's the consistency, while you guys help me to actually be consistent. So that's kind of a little bit more of the story. Everything combined is how it helps. And yeah, hope that other people are actually getting something from that. Honestly, I get a couple of people that hit 6-figure earners because of strategies that I did, or sessions that I did, or just to kept going instead of giving up. And that really does something as well. So I am really open and honest, maybe sometimes too much. But on that test, you also will say, like, let me find it for a second, because this is honestly super funny. You guys will just have a pictured view of me. I saw it a couple of days ago. I probably can find it super quickly. Lessons. Oh, here it is. So this is like, on the left is people oriented, on the right is task oriented. So I'm really people oriented. There's like not so much task oriented. I'm terrible. I'm making to-do lists, but I'm terrible. And then on top is extrovert, and on the bottom is introvert. So I'm kind of both. That's really funny. And then this is like, you guys cannot see everything, but here on this side, it's rules, regulatory. So I wrote, fuck the rules, because I really don't care. And here is economic, where I put the guy with the dollar signs in his eyes. It's absolutely insane. My Tony Robbins coach never, ever saw a test like this. They saw people having like points to maybe economic, or maybe theoretical, or maybe political, but this is absolutely insane. I have political, individualistic, and economic. It's absolutely crazy. So it seems to be how I am. This is not just an app. This is the result of a test that you can do when you get the Tony Robbins coach. Can't see your profile that you are discussing. It's on my WhatsApp. Sorry, it's on my Instagram. You have those stories that you can save. It's somewhere under lessons, I think. Or where was it?
think that
Oh, it's under hobbies. It's under hobbies. So if you if you want to see it, you can go to my Instagram. You can go under hobbies, and you will see some snowboarding stuff, and you will see this test. Risk management question. Yeah, let's get back to business. If your account gets hung up waiting on 5 trades, what do you do? So there's a very good question. You can do a couple of things. First, you can trade number 6, number 7, knowing that you are trading a little bit more than you should. I don't say that's bad. It's just about recognizing I should do 5 trades and I'm going to place trade number 6 right now. That is a choice, and I don't say it's a bad choice. It is a choice. Other choice is closing some of them because you're very strict on your regulation. I'm bad on regulation, right? So I don't say I never have 6 or 7 trades. So that is a choice, but you need to make the choice very deliberately. That's important. Then other option is closing something that's not that much in loss that you don't really believe in anymore. Because it holds up a spot in your trading account, and it's better to take a small loss to go straight, go forward, make way more money than taking a small loss. If you don't believe in a trade anymore, get out. And that is actually the same answer for your bigger losses. Because if something is in a big loss and you do not believe it is it's going to be your way anytime soon, it's better to just cut your losses. They will become blue one day, but the question is, do you want to wait about it? Because time is money as well, especially when your whole account is locked up. Last solution is to add more money to your account. Now, the point of this is not that I want you guys to deposit continuously for the reason my account is full. But I do want you guys to deposit until your account is 10K. And I'm just honest with you guys, is that you are on a hobby account till it's 10K. You guys have read probably a couple of those books, including Tony Robbins saying deposit 10% of your salary into a trading account. Robert Kiyosaki, 5%. Tim Rowans or any Rowans, whatever, also 5-10%. All those guys in those books are recommending to straight from your salary, put a certain part aside. And they are talking mostly about saving, but you guys don't want to save at the bank. You want to save in your trading account. So the goal, if you have 10K and you can do 2-3% per day, you're making $200-$300 a day. Times 20, it's more than enough to live from 4,000 to 6,000 days. Robert Kiyosaki, savers are for losers. He's talking about investing, but you should invest in yourself. I had very good investment things, but I chose to sometimes sell an investment and use that money in my trading account, because the day I went into that investment, I wasn't that good of a trader, so I thought an 8% a year investment would be a good idea, which is still not a bad idea. But putting that money in my own trading account, making 8% in a week instead of in a year, is a lot better. So that is at the end. You need to. There's a lot of people selling stocks, selling certificates. If you're not sure about the big money, don't do it. But I have seen people emptying their 401k into a trading account and made so much more, guys, or a part of it. So if you're in America and you have this kind of pension funds or 401ks or whatever, you can access them. It's your money. You saved it. If you get out of it, you put it in a trading account and you simply don't blow it up, you are going to make so much more. And the most scariest decisions are the ones that are the good ones. What are the pivot level and from where to sell or buy the trade? So basically, with this strategy, I'm buying and selling from every level between R8 and S0. All right, I'm selling between any level between R8 and S0. So let's say R7 and S1. All right, so price needs to be here. And then when it's a downtrend, I'm selling to maximum -1. And when it's an uptrend, I am buying to maximum +1. All right. That's kind of where my limits are. throw in the credit. Just make sure you have a serious professional trading balance. Don't have to do it in 1 month, but when you know how to trade, you can go pro. And going pro is just, you don't need a lot to become a professional trader. 10,000, 20,000 and a good strategy is all you need. And maybe someone who helps you on the way, but that's why we are here, right? I have a friend that pulls his 401k making a killing. Yeah. I have people that said, like, I sold my house, I made good profits, I should put 100k in a trading account. Which broker do you advise? Guys, we are here to help. Just message us. What's your take on how we share the strategy? Please don't share it. Share the Eventbrite link and just let people come to the sessions. Between now and 20 December, this is how I would love to give it to you guys, to share it with you guys, to do something. I still believe that you should be, 100% should be in the IM Academy to learn the bigger picture, because things like double tops, head and shoulders, fundamental analysis, news analysis, support resistance lines manually, just looking at the charts, practice, 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 practice is what's going to make you a good trader, not just one strategy. So you need a year in the IM Academy to really get there. And you commit on helping other people there, that's amazing. So at the end, the goal for me is the same. I just took it out of YouTube. I took it offline, not to really have a very big money part of it. I just didn't know what to do at that moment, because I saw a lot of people that just learned the strategy and then thought it was good enough, leaving the Forex educational industry, thinking that they have found the magic pot, but didn't have enough practice and enough information. So I think it's very good. Some people signed up and paid for 4 sessions. That's great, guys. Every session will be different. Every session there will be different questions and different answers from me. I have like 5 years to share with you guys. So every question will probably open up something else. So I saw also Natalie, it went a little bit too fast for me in 1 session. That is completely fine. Everybody's at a different level. Feel free to take a session from next week or 2 weeks, practice and continue, guys. That's why we do this. 5 years for 80 euro. That is, guys. I understand that if it's fast, guys, no worries, no worries. All right, so let me find some explanations more. Sorry, some more examples. So this is what you get in November. This is really bad. You see all the colors, red, blue, red, red, green, red, green, red, green. That's bad. That's not what we want to see. This is what we want to see. A few days at least down, a few days at least up. Look how beautiful this is. A day down, 2.5 days, 3 days up. That's what we want to look for. That's why I'm going over all those trades so fast, because I just look at the end part and you see here all those colors. This already completely disqualifies the trade for that it's any swing, that it's any going any direction. You just know you will not make up your mind. This is 1.5 day for the buy. This is good. You see here, 1.5 day going up. 100 is pointing upwards, 200 is pointing upwards, all up. So here would be a buy for me, and here this morning would be a buy for me. Would it be a buy right now? No, because we are on this high side. It's too high already. Before, like half a year ago, I would go in the buy and maybe find myself into drawdown before going up. All right, that is the bad part. You do not want to get into drawdown before going up. It will go up, but you don't want to have the drawdown. When this pair now will come down to the clouds, then I would like to buy it. That is no problem. All right. When this one comes back to R6, I have no problem in buying it. That's a nice trade. 8 pips. 15 minutes. We are now on 15 minutes. No, the YouTube videos, I actually really took it off. I really took them off. But I will share with you guys the last Sunday general explanation of the strategy, which is not that advanced as this one, but it is basically telling the same thing. On the practical side, how long do we go consistent per hour day to practice this strategy? So I think what's very important is to not trade all day. I really do not believe in a 8-hour trading day. That's why I kind of was against the marathon, but I was able to share a lot during the marathon with a lot of different people that couldn't go on all the time. Some people joined me all the session, and I think you are very, you should be very proud of yourself. On the other side, don't make it a habit of trading, like trading 8 hours a day. It's another job. You don't want to find yourself another job. So the goal for me is to wake up early, indeed, no alerts, just a set of times. I wake up 5 a.m. London time, and by 6 a.m. London time, I'm trading short-term trades 1 hour before, 1 hour before or the hour of the Frankfurt session. Then, of course, London opening. Then I can do London daybreak an hour after the London opening. And then I can maybe find some swing trades in the afternoon. But that's for me also more on an educational level that I'm actually swing trading, because I make my money in the morning. If you need, you should swing trade in the afternoon. But then still you're trading an hour, an hour, an hour. I'm trading like an hour break, an hour trade, an hour break, an hour trade, rest of the day break. So more than 3 hours, you really do not need. Is it not normal to do in the beginning to trade all day long? No, that is a beginner's mistake, because you will get your head like blown up. Way too much information, way too much charts. Like it takes you 5 minutes here to look to the last 1.5 days. You don't need to look to this chart for 1.5 days. You just look at the chart and see what happens for 1.5 days. That is very important. Would you be able to how to put and apply stop loss? Yeah, I will. I am funding a second account using my profits from the first one. That is very good. I don't know why you need a second account, but it is good to trade with your profits. That's why I lost my 4 kids. I hope you don't mean that literally, Natalie. First candle must break and close below the R6. I just want to see the price closer to R6, and it would be nice to see a green candle upwards to get into my part. Natalie has to find the kids in the weekend, yeah. So don't trade all day, guys. It's not necessary. You should make 2, 3, 4% on a daily basis. Make a trade plan, make your money, get out, do something fun with your kids. I understand if you have the money motivation, but the market is only going to give you 50, 80, 100 pips a day. I just don't know traders who are making 100%, 100 pips a day every day. It's not there. It's very rare to see. Sometimes a guy or a girl makes it for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, but it's not forever. 5 trades, 50 pips, very good. 5% a day, 50 pips. If you reach that every day, any bank or hedge fund will hire you. And really, like I have a job for you. If you have 50 pips every day without me, if you have 50 pips every day, then you have a job. You can start tomorrow. Just show me half a year of 50 pips a day. I haven't seen those track records. I haven't seen those track records in a long time. All right. Someone asked stop loss. Very good. Very good point. So let's do this one. AUD USD. All right. Trade is moving downwards, right? 200 moving average, red. You can extend it a little bit. 100 moving average, you need to take a little bit of the end. Make it green. See you guys. You see part-time traders leaving the office, 3 o'clock. That's the good part. Trade part-time. Lithuania is only cold in winter. And if you're able to travel 20 countries a year, we are not that much in Lithuania in winter. I completely missed the winter last year. I also missed the summer. We were basically almost all year on the road. Next level, do it yourself. Yep. AUD CAT looks good. Okay, I'm going to look to AUD CAT for a second in a second. All right, so let's first look at this. So this one is around pivots. If this shows some price action under pivots again, I'm happy to sell it to S2, which is a strong support resistance line. And then I would be happy to sell it to S0. It is coming down, all right? Now, of course, we do not have a super clear one red cloud here, which in November is just very hard to see. But you see here for almost 2.5 days, we have a red cloud. Sometimes you need a little bit of imagination. You see, I just made a red cloud. There's the red cloud. So there's a green part in here. I know there's a little green part in here, but that's just because of November volume. That's why the more you do it, the easier it will become. All right. So red cloud coming down. When the price is in the cloud, we do nothing. All right. When the price is above the cloud, the original green one here, we do nothing. We do not sell from this point here. I know it's hard to see now with this bubble on it, but you do not want to sell here. Even though you have a 10-20 cross, even though it resisted the 200, you are above the cloud. You don't want to sell here. All right. You don't want to sell when it's in the cloud or above the cloud. You want to sell when it's below. This one is a good sell. This one is a good sell. Here you have nothing. Yeah, here, mini sell. All right, middle of the night. Here, when it comes out of the cloud, the original cloud, you see here the green one, this is what you can sell. At this moment, you cannot do a lot. But when this cloud here, let me extend this cloud a little bit. When this one comes out of the cloud, and you see here the original cloud, I would be willing to sell, especially because it's so close to 200 moving average. So where is our stop loss? Our stop loss is somewhere here. Because when this price is going upwards, breaking the 200 moving average, going up and seriously deciding to keep going up, that's the moment we want to get out. All right. How is the fire situation? I hope everybody's okay. Definitely good news for us with the trading accounts with the news that came out. I saw someone posted cat news our direction. Indeed, very, very well. Very happy with that. AUD news probably. AUD new, AUD JPY, AUD USD from earlier today coming our direction. Other trades from before, less in drawdown, so that's very good. Just not good for ACAT and NCAT. So just let them go. I'm going to pull them over the weekend anyway, probably. I will update you guys really later. So it will be in the Telegram group and it will be in about, it's now 3:40, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably about 6 hours. I will give an update on what to hold, what to close, but as far as I can see for this trade, I'm going to hold it all. All right, so here's your stop loss. Now it's better even to see that on the 1 hour. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm doing. So let's say we sell this, all right? Then I'm going to look on the hour to have myself agreeing with the downtrend. Now look at this. Red moving average coming down, green going down. Look at this. These are the lines for the 1 hour. All right, let's remove this block. This is a red cloud for 1.5 days coming down. All right, deep downfall. You see here all those entries. Those entries you just have because it was on 15 minutes. On the 1 hour, you would not have those entries because those lines are just here. So that's why it's so cool to trade on the 15 minutes. You see here the entries. If I stand on them, that's where you can sell off. That's why I use 15 minutes, even 5 minutes for entries. Now, this one definitely red cloud, downtrend coming for a long period. This guy, even on the 1 hour, we have still this at zero level. Very safe to sell. Now, when this price goes to the 1 hour 200 moving average and really breaks through it, which means R8, that's where I would say, like, okay, if it's staying there, not just hitting it, if it's staying there and choosing to move up, that's why I get out. Chance that it comes down from here is very big. That's why you don't want to go out in panic, right? Don't panic. Only when it's, you see it here. Let's say you were in this cell. Let's say you were here in a cell somewhere. It didn't hit your take profit and your price went up. Then you had drawdown, right? Look, you're going for a, let's say you go for 30 pips take profit, you didn't see your trade, and boom, the next time you're looking, you wake up and it's 12 pips in drawdown. If you stress at that level, you will, like here, the worst drawdown is 20 pips. At the end, it comes down 30. All right, at the end, it comes down 30, and you see that the price is really rejecting the 200 moving average right there. Only when it stops trading here and it really goes up, when you really see that price coming up, it like the 100 moving average here needs to come so close to the 200 that it potentially will cross, and then it might go up. For now, this is just a downtrend. So this is like your imaginary stop loss. You cannot really work out in advance where to go out. Whole central northeastern coast is on fire. Pretty fucked, but fire and drought. This is Australia. Oh, Australian fires. I heard of that a lot. Climate change, maybe. Just stay safe, guys. Just stay safe. So if you want to take this sell, yeah, it is not a bad idea to take this sell. So I'm going back to the 15 minutes. And this is AUD USD. But I think we have an AUD USD sell. Yeah, we do have an AUD USD sell. Let's just confirm the take profit. The take profit I put this morning is 67765. And you see here 67749. So it's a little bit like 2 pips lower is where you can go. So there is an AUD USD sell from this morning, 22 November, which is around our entry right now. So if you are not yet in the sell, you can take this sell, no problem, to 7749, all right? 7749. So the AU buy is something that you can have chosen to go out because it is a downtrend right now. But the point is that it will reverse that downtrend. So it is the best trade. There's a reason for that trade. It's basically to show that any trade at the end goes to profit. So I'm holding because my account can easily have it, because this is the next. I'm going to teach you guys one more thing. All right, I'm going to tell you guys one more thing. So this is a sell. If you want to sell it, take profit 67749. Now this is what I did. If you do 1,000 trades, so you have $100 in your account, start balance. And you do 1,000 trades, that will bring your account to $1,000. All right, it's just, you just keep trading. You make new trades, you make new trades, you always, and you have that one trade open. That one of those first trades, you do maximum 5 trades at the same time. But you have one trade open. What is your trading? What's your lot size on $100? 0.01, right? And let's say we had an AUD USD buy, and that trade is going 180 pips in drawdown. DD drawdown. Okay. How much is that? How much dollar is this 180 pips drawdown? Put it in the chat if you know it. $18. So you just made $900 profit and you lost $18. That is the goal. 1 out of 1,000 trades, as far as I have measured, hits the actual 200 pips drawdown. If it's in the start of your first 1,000 trades, yeah, it's shit. If it's at the end of your 1,000 trades, no one cares. Your balance is growing. You go to 200, all right? You go to $200, you start to use 0.02. You go to $300, you start to use 0.03. You just keep going. At the end here, you are having $1,000 balance, and what you need to do is that when you have $1,000 balance, we are using 0.10 lots. You do 18 pips, you make $18, and you close that trade. That's what you do. 66765 from this morning is fine. It's just like it's 1.5, 2 pips difference. Here we have someone started with 0.01, now on 0.19, consistent growth. All right, started with $100, now on $1,900. It's completely possible. So the day that you make $18, basically, give me a number, guys. Give me, to really advise you, give me the number that your AUD USD is in loss in dollars. And your lot size. So what is your current lot size and what is your dollar drawdown? Okay, let me take one, all right? 0.4 lot size, $23. So 0.4 lot size will make you $4 a pip. 23 divided by $4 is 5 pips. Do one trade, 5 pips, get out of the 23. 0.07 from Jos, 0.07, $82 drawdown. 0.07 is giving you 70 cents per, no, it's giving you 70 cents. $82 divided by 0.07 is way too much. 82 divided by 0.7, 117 pips. That is weird, Jos. 1.7 lots, 130 from Trevor. 1.7 lots at this moment gives you $17 per pip. 130 divided by $17 per pip, it's 8 pips for Trevor. All right, Trevor, 2 trades, 2 times 4 pips, boom, get out of that $130 drawdown. Fabiana, 0.02, 23. 0.02 is 20 cents. $23 divided by 20 cents is 115 pips, same as Jos. So what you can do is keep trading, just leave it open till you can afford to close. I know Jos is very consistent, so I know that Jos' number is also correct, Fabiana's number as well, but just keep going till you easily can afford that. And the second thing that really helps with this strategy is if you top up, you are going to grow your balance. So let's say here, you're at that situation where you don't want to close the trade. You top up, you trade a couple of trades with your new balance, and then it's very easy to close the small loss. So one more time, I will do Igor. Igor is saying my lot size is 0.88, which means $8,800 in his balance, and his drawdown is $70. 8.8 lot size will give you $8.8 per pip. $70 drawdown divided by $8.8 is 8 pips. If he does 2 trades of 4 pips, he is out. He makes a $70. Take out your loss. Sean, .42, giving you $4, also 10 pips, boom, out. There's no silly questions, guys. Will a deep drawdown always come back to blue? Yes. It's not like crypto. It's not like, indeed, it's not like crypto. It's not going up or down for years and never comes back. If you zoom out on a big chart, there will always be a moment that that wave is coming back. It can still take a long time though. So get out when you make more. So basically my goal is on Friday to look to my weekly profits and then choose to close some trades to still have a good week. But my Friday is sometimes a lost day. Not so much, but sometimes. Other option is to make one day, make profit, and that day close a loss of the same amount of your profit, and then that day was a cleanup day. Just plan for yourself a cleanup day. You say like, okay, I have some trades in drawdown. This is not nice. Cleanup day. I'm going to make money today, and whatever I make, I'm going to use to clean up my account. Guys, most people still have losing days. You guys don't have losing days anymore because you don't lose. You don't have stop losses. So sometimes you need a cleanup day. All right? Sometimes you need that cleanup day. You are paying swaps, but swaps are really not serious amounts compared to your potential profits. Is it okay with a 10K account to just hold some drawdown if you average 250 pips profit a week? Yeah, of course, because it's the same story here, but just 10 times bigger or 100 times bigger. Sometimes swaps are positive, that's true. Is this the 6:30 EET meeting? Yes, this is the Zoom call that we are on together. It is currently it's currently 3:54, so it's almost 4 p.m. EET. So we have started already quite a long time ago. I don't see a timer here, but I think we are 2 hours online. I hope you guys did not just jump on and miss the first 2 hours. So 2 hours, yeah, 2 hours. Missed the take profit in EC this morning. Can I still hang in? All right, if you're just joining, I am going to send the video from last Sunday, the recording of last Sunday. to everybody who went to this session. And if you just joined, you did miss almost 2 hours of information. So it would be good. You can always message me. But if you book multiple sessions, then next week we will go over it again, and you will get the video and use some time zone converter next time, because it didn't start at 4 p.m. EET. It starts at 2 p.m. EET. Yeah, the video will be really good to just keep practicing. All right, guys, so I really hope you guys understand this compounding effect. Keep trading the same balance, build it up, and get out of your losing trades. You don't have to hold them forever. Just get out of your losing trades. This kind of things happen when the clouds are thin, right? You see that going up? It's just because clouds are thin. It's not a clear, the cloud itself, as you see here, is a support resistance level as well. This is huge resistance. A red cloud is huge resistance. Price wants to go in, but doesn't go in. When it goes in, it spikes through, comes back in, stays in the bottom. All those theories are the same. If it's pivots or Ichimoku or whatever, it's all about resistance and support. Red clouds are huge resistance. Green clouds are huge support levels. Mark is here. Guys, DJ Mark is in the house. Hi. Mark, people are waving at you. Mark has a serious fan base. It's insane. He just pressed GTA Vice, press play, but still he's doing a good job in doing just that. Look at here, look at the resistance. Boom, cloud, in the cloud, through the cloud. Resistance at 200, down, under the cloud, 100 also support resistance line, but here you see mostly the top of the Ichimoku against the cloud, under the cloud, through, straight back, under the cloud. You see? Cloud is of great help. Mark has a victory playlist. Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. So to close off the session, I just want to go over a couple of more examples. I hope I really answered all of your questions till now. Don't buy when it's too high. That's the main point. Don't buy when it's too high. This is a buy, absolutely. 100, 200 are crossing. This is a buy, but not right now. Wait for a pullback. Wait for it to come to R6, and then you can buy. Or when pivots shift up, which at the end happens, potentially happens every 15 minutes, when this R8, because pivots shift up, when this R8 becomes an R7 or an R6, you can buy. Yeah, I am going to see if there's any trades that would be useful to take, but as I said, November has been difficult, and we are really looking for something that is worth it. What I also can do is to look to the 1 hour to give you guys the same examples there. So what are we looking at? We are mostly looking to US dollar, Canadian dollar. So for everyone who didn't saw my time zone video yet, I would really recommend you to go on my pivot channel and look to the time frames and time sessions video, because it will show you when is which time. So we are in New York time right now. We are at the end of the London session and at the still beginning of New York session. So the most active pairs right now, logically, are the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. Against Europe more than against Asia, because Asia is sleeping. All right, so it's just common sense, understanding who's awake. At night, our European night, the New Zealand dollar is most active. Japanese yen is most active. Against what? Against each other, because the rest of the world is asleep. In the morning, what's most active? Europe plus Asia. Together, they are both awake. America is sleeping. US dollar doesn't move that much. That's what US dollar is basically moving all the time because it's international currency, but things like Canadian dollar in the morning, not that much. All right, so it's common sense who's awake. So CAT CHF still awake? Yeah, 3 p.m., 2 p.m. in Switzerland right now, 2 p.m. in 3 p.m. Sorry, 3 p.m. in Switzerland right now. So Switzerland still awake. Switzerland going up or down when they go to sleep. Again, guys, common sense. Who is going to win, Canadian or Switzerland? Who's going to make more money today? The rest of the day, who's going to make more money, Canadian people or people that are thinking about a beer in Switzerland right now? 3 p.m. in Switzerland. So what do you think? Will CAT CHF, will it go up or down?
Up.
Oh, Mark just came into the building and now he has all the answers, guys. Up indeed. So it's completely logical at this time of the day to buy CAT against a company, a country is basically a company, to completely lose his stock value because they're all going to drink beer or probably wine more in Switzerland. All right, it's some of those things you will get way more and more. All the bankers are going to drink, while Canada is just waking up. Some parts of Canada are just waking up. So yeah, this is a buy. How much? 10 pips, 9 pips. Buy it to 75,073. Now you guys understand that this session was mainly to give you guys education and not trades. And as you saw, I can talk 2 hours in a row about strategies. You guys can take this trade, make your 20 euro back. That's the goal. Again, CAT JPY is the same, absolutely. Japan is sleeping after the sake of Friday evening. All right, all sake drinkers. Number is on the screen, 0.75073. Let me put it in one account so I can monitor it for you guys. CAT CHF 75073. Buy, boom. That's it. Let's see if we can make some number. What if you're not using the pivot strategy? The problem is you're going to buy too high and sell too low, and you're going to have drawdown more than necessary. That's why the pivot scanner is really of a good help for us. So this is a CAT CHF buy for common sense, for a great trend, a cross for the 100-200, a green cloud, and a 10-20 cross right there. So you guys see 100-200 cross, 10-20 cross, above pivots. Canada is awake. CHF is going to drink wine, and then we take 10 pips. Japan is sleeping, so CAT JPY should be a buy. The morning session might be a sell because CAT is sleeping, JPY is awake. I don't say that this fundamental analysis is going to be your profit maker, but sometimes common sense at least helps you to make certain trade decisions. Yeah. It's not saved. Jeez. All right, guys, you can make a screenshot of this one. Not going to share it anywhere. So CAT JPY, I can check, but indeed it's quite the same effect. but it's just a little bit less strong cloud. So you see here, clouds going up, price went under the cloud. We have a 1020 cross here, that's good. We have a, sorry, 100-200 cross. This is the 1020 cross. So basically all lines are looking up, all right? So here you see the 10, the 20, 10, 20, 100, and 200. See, everything is above the 90 degrees. Everything is going up. That's good. It's above pivot. It's above pivot. Pivot line. Only little issue is it resisted the R6 right there. So the goal for this pair is still to move up somewhere there. Let me make this one orange. All right. Follow the orange line, 16 pips. We are in CG sell, so that's not good. This is just short term, guys. Look. One hour. What do you see on the 1 hour? That's why you shouldn't mix time frames. You will be so confused. 200 down, 100 down. Look where it's right now. Sorry, guys, just need to fix the groceries for the office. Approve. Did it go through? Mendagas? Yeah? Cool. The cloud will change every time frame. The point is you get in on the 15 minutes. So this buy on the 15 minutes is not bad, but the sell on the 1 hour is also not bad. That is the funny part. Take profit 82.031. 82.031 for the buy. And then we have 75.073 for the sell, which means that the price really needs to come down. But look at this. Is this a downtrend or an uptrend? It's a downtrend from here. From 13 November, we are basically in a downtrend. Do I just take profit for account for spread? No, I just fix a good broker. You need a good broker, guys. Go for a big broker, good names. There's a couple of names that are the ones with the biggest marketing budget. They do make them. They do make the most money, but that means that they do have the clientele as well. So that means that they don't fall over at the first little crisis they have. So a good broker, in my opinion, starting with a big broker. So if you see their name screaming online, like XM was doing last summer, then you know that you are not in a bad position. IC markets, commercials everywhere. R8 is the take profit for the buy of CatJ, 82.031. So good broker, big broker, and very important that they are fast with deposits and withdrawals, especially withdrawals. If you stuck to one time frame, what would you recommend? I would recommend 15 minutes, because on 15 minutes you will have more entry opportunities and it will be more clear. Look, where are the red lines? The red lines are there, but where are the red lines of the hour? Don't see them. There they are. You see? So standard, we don't really have an issue with those red lines right now. So 15 minutes, basically what I said, 5 minutes gives you 6 pips take profit. It's just more work. You need like 10 trades to hit your 50 pips. 15 minutes, 11 pips, it will give you 5 trades, your daily target. And on the 1 hour, I would go for 30 pips and you go for 250 or 300 pips a week. So you're looking for 10 good swings, 10 good trades that are going to end up in profit at the end of your day. I have people using this strategy on the 4 hour, on the daily. Like you can stay in trades for a long time. 15 minutes can be a counter trend on a higher time frame, but it is the trend on a short time frame. So you only have a trend on a certain time frame. That's why it's so difficult to, if someone asks, what do you think about NZD CAT? I see here someone asking it. What do you think about NZD CAT? Natalie asked. That is fine, but NZD CAT on which time frame? Are you looking for long term? Are you looking for short term? Do you want to close it in 3 hours? Do you want to close it next month? That's what makes it so difficult if someone just drops you a trade and you do not know what is the intention of that person. Why did you got in is also the reason why you will get out. I hope that helps. All right, guys. Anyone with another question, guys? This was mostly for your questions, guys. This session was mostly here to explain and to educate and to answer questions.
Yeah, how are you? Pretty well as well.
Just hold it. I will look at about 5 hours to the open trades, and I will let you guys know. Guys, did you got some value from this session? Please let me know. If it was valuable for you, let me know in the chat box. If it was not valuable for you, let me know as well, and let me answer your questions. Okay. Most people found it valuable. That's very good to see. All right, guys. So can you recommend any good fundamental analysis books? No, that's very hard for me because I'm not a fundamental trader. I'm really a technical trader. I think that Candlestick Bible is something that a lot of people really like to see what kind of fundamental reversals and stuff there are. It has been great, but I need more practice. Absolutely, you need picking up, joining next time. What do you do at the pivot 4 level? If it breaks from bottom, I buy. If it comes from top, I sell. This session was not recorded because it's very on the market right now, but you guys will get the video from last Sunday where I did an explanation of it. YouTube link is gone, guys. I literally removed that YouTube video. If I have the pivots platform, is there a video on setting it up with my indicators? No, there isn't. Explained at the start, I do not teach this strategy on the IM platform. Always a student, keep going. Wealth Academy, Lee, is that you? How can we backtest pivot here? Because pivots from that time are not on the screen then. No, you cannot backtest the pivot scanner. That is a difficulty because, yes, I will be emailing the Sunday video to everyone that was subscribed to this call. Absolutely. So the pivot levels are accurate as of now, so you cannot backtest it. I want to kind of somehow show that to you, but it's very difficult for me to somehow show